So Mr. Francesco Magri, right next to me, is going to share some fashion trends by the Wool Lab. Let's please welcome him on stage.
Thank you. It's my second time on stage. Very honored. And why we are here? Actually, we are here to introduce the Wool Lab, but not only what is the Wool Lab and what it's for, but also to trying to give you some inspirations. I wouldn't like call trends. I would say inspirations that our creative department found for, let's say, the next spring-summer 19 season. Well, first of all, this is our friend, because it helps to explain you what the Woolmark Company is. Well, the Woolmark Company is an Australian company, and actually we don't produce anything. It belongs to the wool growers who produce merino wool in Australia. So it's a no-profit company. Why merino wool and fashion? Why this shape and fashion? Because I think that most of your garments are made of merino wool. Merino wool is the most important wool for fashion and for apparel because it's the finest wool worldwide. And the finer the fiber is, the best, the most comfortable, the best versatile is your wool textile, your fabric and jumper. And what do we do, actually? The Woolmark Company works in the entire pipeline. We are very lucky because we say we work from farm to fashion, and we work in the entire fashion pipeline. So we start shearing the sheep in Australia, but then we work together with manufacturers, with weavers and spinners to introduce innovation, to work on textile and trend innovation, and then we work with brands. I'm talking about with the biggest brands. Why? Because our goal is to increase the demand of wool, and to increase the demand of wool in the world of fashion, you need innovation. Fashion without innovation, without trends, is not fashion. It's just a piece of textile. What they need to, let's say, to sell more is to present every season innovation. And so we work together with the entire pipeline to promote the innovation with weavers and the spinners, but with the brand, working together with them in partnership, in advertising campaign, in retail projects. Just to let you know, I just finished a project with Max Mara for promoting one of the most innovative fabric that they inject into the market 2 months ago, that is the wool denim. Or we are working in sport. I don't know if some of you know Barton. Barton is a snowboarding brand, and we created together with them innovative fabric, exclusive fabric, has a base layer for sport made in wool. So what we do is actually work together with the entire pipeline from farm to fashion. I'm not here to tell you about everything what we do, but telling you what we do with the Wool Lab. Well, Artie, that is our country manager in India and Middle East, has some books on the table. What are those books that you can easily check? Is the Wool Lab. So we understood that to promote innovation, what is important is to work with the producer and then try to transfer the information to the retailers. And so we created special books twice a year where we collect. We ask to the weavers, we ask to the spinners to give us the most innovative, the most brand new fabric and textile, the most innovative fabric that they have to collect together in books and give to the retailers. What we do is a free service, so actually we don't sell anything. But in this way, we make the retailers aware of which are the innovation from the weavers and from the spinners, and we help the retailers also to save time. I have something funny that happened to me is we are working together with Prada. Prada knitwear. We are working on new developments together with the Prada. And I was during Pitti Filati, there's a trade show in Florence, and I was talking to the head of products, one of the most important person in Prada. You know, it's probably like a god in Prada. And so I was talking to him like, listen, we can support the research with budget, with campaign. And the answer was, listen, I don't need anything. We have everything. What we need is time. If you can give me time, you can solve problems. Well, this is how we try to work with the retailer, trying to save time in presenting them the innovation one time together with all these books. So that's the reason why we go in trade shows worldwide. We present in Pitti Filati, we present in Pitti Uomo, we are in Milano Unica, in Premier Visione, in US, in Intertextile, and we show to the retailers these books. I can tell you that we met more or less this season 400 brands, but 400 brands, I mean like Gucci, Valentino, Louis Vuitton, Prada, all the big retailers are coming to check our books in order to understand which are the innovation in textile. And how it works. It works that once the retailer has seen something interesting, some textile that is interested, we put in contact the designer with the manufacturer. In this way, we make the pipeline shorter, and we help the designer to have a direct contact with the manufacturer without losing time in hanging around in trade shows or in weavers or spinners sales office. And we generate about like 12,000 requests of fabrics worldwide in 6 months. So it's a huge amount of people we meet, and a huge amount of requests that we generate worldwide. So, I don't have a microphone to hang around, but why I'm here? I don't pretend to tell you which are the next trends. So we are not the gurus. What is important is that we know everyone, and actually we know everyone in the business. We know all the fashion, the designers in the biggest. Oh, thank you. Okay, so we know all the fashion designers from the design companies. We know the weavers, we know the spinners. We work about like 200 most important weavers and spinners worldwide, and we know more or less 500 design offices worldwide. And so we don't pretend to give trends, but we know, we understand, talking to people, which are the inspirations that are coming up for the upcoming seasons. And we transfer this inspiration in our books with pictures, but also with commercially available fabrics. So just to have a look, well, for me, what is interesting is not what I say, but is what you can see. Herodotus in the ancient Greek says, men trust more to eyes than to ears. So look at the pictures and have a look to the pictures which are the trends for the next spring-summer 19. And this is what we have identified. Okay, so these are the 7 trends, 7 inspiration, 6 inspiration that we have identified for the next spring-summer. How we identify this trend? Just talking to people, going, as I was telling you before, going in bars, talking to people, check their social media. And so we have 6 trends. One is Glendeburn, Artist House, Layering, Escape, Revolt, and Lab. Now this name doesn't mean anything, but we can start. Just giving you an idea of which are the inspiration for the next spring-summer. Glyndebourne. What is Glyndebourne? Glyndebourne is an amazing opera festival in England. and it's becoming one of the biggest trends. Why is becoming one of the biggest trends in fashion? Because Glyndebourne is an eccentric and aristocratic style inspired by Glyndebourne, a lyric opera festival every year in England. Very, very charming and elegant people used to go to this festival dressed very elegant. So as we are now, everyone is focused on sustainability, on nature. There's really, people want to go in the nature, want to go outside of the city, but at the same time, they don't want to undress. They want to keep the status high. And so the pleasure of dressing well in the nature has some rules. I couldn't dress like this for a picnic. I need different outfits, probably elegant, but probably the fabric must be a little bit different, more comfortable, mixing wool and linen, and also for the ladies, more comfortable dresses, but at the same time elegant. So there's a very huge, big trend in the upper class that is going out in picnic, living the nature, feeling the nature, doing a picnic, not at the restaurant. So, of course, the rich people, they want butlers, silverware, and champagne because they cannot change their behaviors from the city to the countryside. But everything is more light, is more relaxed. Prints, long dress for women, very light, and also the checks are reminding something fresh and light, like pinstripes, checks, Prince of Wales, mixing wool with mohair, mixing wool with linen, prints on feminine dress, and also the color are reminding this kind of atmosphere. Blue, beige, brown, pastel colors. So we don't pretend to give you trends, but this is a really big inspiration coming from the big trend of sustainability and coming back to the nature that is influencing fashion. Another trend is artist house. What's artist house? Well, this is something that is already in the market. Most of you know Gucci. You know, Gucci is changed the way of dressing for women from one season to the other. And the night dressing for women, the long ones to use in the bedroom, are now becoming trend for outside. So artist house means something more intellectual, more artist. But why more intellectual and artist? Because the artist is very enriched in terms of prints, in terms of jacquard, and the artists, they don't care how to go out. The artists, they care about what they wear and what they think. So that's the reason why this inspiration is really connected to the artist, because they spend a lot of time in the house, and so when they go out, they probably dress the same. This is what the artists do. They spend a lot of time with themselves. And the house and the artist's clothing overlap and merge into a unique, poetic, timeless portrait. And exactly what is Gucci pushing now in the market. So it's not a trend because it's a reality, but it's an inspiration that we have to take in consideration. And of course, the artist is very open-minded, so very open to new culture. I wouldn't say ethnic, because ethnic sometimes looks like something tribal, but ethnic in terms of culture, of different fabric, different prints, different colors taken by different countries. But but of course mix it in harmony with a contemporary style. Just please have a look to the picture because they speak themselves. And this is more or less what we have seen as an inspiration, a strong inspiration for the next spring-summer. Wool and silk, wool and viscose, wool and tencel, very fine gelsin, crepe textile, tapestry-inspired fabric with gold details, watercolor pastels mixed with the deep colors. So this is exactly one of the biggest trends that we have now in the market, and will go ahead probably in the next future. Well, we have seen also in opposite another important signal, that is the layering. What is layering? Layering is because we are lazy. We are almost, we do so many things that we don't want to think about, okay, so I wear a lot of clothes. If it's hot, I take them away. If it's not, I put it on. So we are lazy. But to be lazy is not easy because you need the right clothes. Thin, jersey fabrics, because you have to play with the clothes. So layering is one of the biggest trends in this period because of softness, because of utility, because of laziness, because we are moving from air conditioning to 40 degrees. So layering is mixing and overlapping fabrics. And so that's the reason why jersey is becoming very important. There is a very return of jersey fabric in fashion. And I can tell you that not because I'm telling you this, but because we talked to the designer and they ask us innovation about fabrics, and they are asking us more innovation on jersey. So it's something that is very back in the fashion system. Overlapping fabrics, t-shirts with shirts, but also what is important is contrasting materials and patterns and work with transparencies, because at the same time we want to be elegant, even if we are layering different fabrics. So sometimes playing with the transparencies helps you in having a look, not just plain colors. So this is a very big trend for us that we don't want to spend so much time in thinking what we want to dress. Just put everything on, but the right fabric. So fine jersey with 3D effects, stripes are important for a transparency trend, color coding, mixing, and also color are important because we have seen that the designers, they play a lot with basic colors, but with color essence, just to give a kind of image to the outfit that they are creating. And this is my favorite. I think all of you probably is the most favorite inspiration. Who would like to escape? Probably everyone. But not forever, just for a while, you know, for a holiday. So this is the trend that is coming from the fact that we are overloaded, you know, on social media, everyone knows everything about us. So there is a very big desire to escape. But to escape, you cannot escape in a suit. You have to escape with the right dress. I mean, of course, you can with a suit, but if you have a more comfortable, more light outfit, probably it's better to escape in those amazing places. So the desire to flee from everything to place of rare and unspoiled beauty. So the designers are trying to understand what we want, not only how we dress, and how we want to live more and more in the nature, how we want to live more and more outside our business. They are trying now to look for outfits and styles that can give us a support on what we want to do. It's more or less like a pajama, but it's something that is comfortable, make you feel good. I mean, wellness is one of the biggest trends, but wellness doesn't mean sport. Wellness means stay well. So one of the biggest trends for us is, for the fashionistas, that to make the people feel good. So casual and comfortable clothing, as well as sophisticated but never dull, wide and soft. So this is okay. We leave the escape trend and we move now on rebuild. What is rebuild? Rebuild is means rebel. I mean, now there are a generation of young kids that want to be against the rules. I mean, young kids are always against the rules. Me too. When I was younger, probably I was against the rules. So probably I'm still, but I cannot come here in short pants and tank. No? I have to respect some rules. They can dress how they want because they are young. And there's a big movement. There is one of the guru of this movement is the designer of vêtements. I don't remember the name, but the designer now see that the young kids, they want to break the rules visually, not only in terms of what they want to do. So they are looking for strange shapes, long sleeves, opposite colors, and break the rules. So more or less, this kind of, I mean, we can call them millennials, Generation Z, whatever, but this is fashion. So if you want to communicate through your outfits what you want to be, if you are a rebel, you need a rebel outfits. Marlon Brando was a rebel in the 50s, and he was wearing a leather jacket. A leather jacket probably is not a rebel anymore. So that's the reason why they're trying to find new codes for showing how they are rebels. So they are playing with the shapes, they are playing with the colors, something that is weird, but they want to be noticed. They want to know that the people are looking at them, and they want them to think that they are rebel. Well, complicated, but I hope you understood. So strong colors, strong details, extra large. An experiment created by the assembly of different styles, creating the potential for a fashionable renewal. So it means that from this kind of movement of rebels, we can generate new trends in a fashion. Long sleeves. There are a big trend of long sleeves between the young kids. Mixing geometries, made by a spontaneous and very personal attitude. So, as you can see, there's not one trend in the market. There's no one single trend, like in the 80s, Versace or Armani or Valentino. Now people are taking inspiration from different trends, and so we cannot just stop in one trend. We need to understand the people. We call them consumers, but the consumer are people. Now the B2C is moving to the B2P, sorry. So business to consumer is moving to business to people, because we need to understand the people, not the consumer, because they are not all the same. They have different trends and different inspiration they follow. So rebel means classical revised, raw age, new aesthetic, fleece, And the colors are contrasting and primary colors. Why primary colors? Not because they are following the Bauhaus trend, but because the primary colors are the colors from the city. In the city you have primary colors. You have black, white, red, yellow. And so they identify the colors on what they see in the city. The last trend, the last inspiration is called lab. What we do with the lab. The lab is not a trend. It's not it's like a box where we put inside experimental techniques together with the manufacturers. And we have seen something obvious, but it's not obvious to think not obvious when it comes to the textile. Nature, natural dyeing, sustainability is really, that is a trend, sustainability. And so to transfer this big trend into the garment, to the textile, you have to think about how to do it. And one of the most important things is to play with natural dyeing materials, using, for example, spices, fruits, flowers. So the manufacturers, the weavers, and the spinners, they are now in their laboratories, they are trying to they are playing with this kind of materials, natural materials. And it will be a big trend and a very big storytelling for not the consumer, for the people. And I mean, can you imagine when someone, if there is a salesperson in a store, instead of telling about the color, is telling about the flowers that made the colors. You know, so it is important now to explain to the people where the things are coming from. And if you use natural primary materials, of course you have a winning card in your collection. So in the fight against the pollution, they say the peculiarity of stained materials is also encouraged. Dyeing with herbs, out of different fabrics and yarn to obtain unique characteristic. So it's not only the fact that it's naturally, but also you can have effect that with the synthetic coloring you can't. So lab is not an inspiration, is not a trend. What is important is to understand the trend of nature applied to the fabric and the textile. So to embrace this inspiration, you need also specific fabric, like fine jersey, color coating, mixing the material, and of course the colors are natural. Green, fuchsia, sky blue, gray. We have wonderful colors in nature, better than the synthetics. And if you have the right materials, like for example wool, you can have brilliant effect on the garments that you are dyeing. So, these were more or less the inspirations, not trends. Trends are the big trends. Sustainability is a trend. In fashion, we have inspirations. And we try to achieve a good result, talking to the designers and other people, understanding which are the inspiration for the next spring summer. But this is instead something on which we are working on. There is the wool denim. The wool denim is, I can tell you that this is a bigger trend, not inspiration, because we are talking about functionality. Why the wool denim? Well, wool has amazing benefits compared to other fibers. I mean, all the fibers are nice, but wool, for example, has a benefit of thermoregulation, is water repellent. When you have your pants I mean, when it rains, if you're wearing wool, it's water repellent, water resistant. Yeah. So we have discovered that mixing wool and denim, we can increase
the fantastic denim materials, because we can give more benefit to the denim. Denim is usually cotton. Denim was born cotton, that's it. So, but adding wool, you can have benefits that just with cotton you can't. So, just to give you an example of this big trend is Max Mara. Max Mara just launched a capsule collection of wool denim in fall winter this year, and the capsule collection was completely sold out. Why Max Mara choose the wool denim? Well, we're working together with Max Mara, and they wanted to have a denim look. But if you have in mind what is Max Mara is, for women, is amazing, is comfortable, is draping, and you can't do it with cotton. It's too stiff. I mean, you will have ladies walking like robots, you know, with a denim tailleur. But they wanted to have that look. And so we worked together with a manufacturer, and we created a 100% of wool denim. And so from Max Mara, that is one of the top leader in women's wear, now there are all the brands asking us if we can work together with them to push the wool denim too. So wool denim is really a reality. But one of the most important things now is wool and sport. I don't know if you know, but sport until 30 years ago was made of wool. Cycling, soccer, I mean, I'm from Italy, so soccer is very important, but running. Ottavio Missoni, the founder of Missoni, started his company, Missoni, producing track suits in wool for the Olympic team of Italy in the 60s. So wool was a protagonist in sport. Then the synthetic fiber came trying to imitate the benefits of wool, but with a very low price. And that's the period where Nike, Adidas started having a big success, because low price, big margins, and good benefits in terms of performance. But now the technologies allows us to create a t-shirt made in wool, 100% wool, that look like silk, and are perfect for running. Or if you don't know the benefits of wool for sport, is that is no odor at all. I mean, me, when I run, if I run in a synthetic, after a little bit I smell. Not so much, but I smell a little bit. Some more, some less, but it's mechanic. With wool, you can't smell because it's chemical. Wool absorb the smell made of, I know the Italian word, but I don't know the English one, zolfo, and absorb the odor, and it doesn't make the odor goes out, but not because it stays inside, because it breaks the odor. It's something chemical. So now a lot of sport brands, and I'm talking about the sport brands that we're talking before, Nike and Adidas, they're coming back to wool. First, because of the trend of natural fabrics, and so absolutely they have to follow this kind of trends. Can you imagine a big company such as Adidas not following the nature? Nowadays, it's impossible. So as they do sports, they are focusing now on natural fabrics like wool. That is one of the most performance fabric in sport. And Nike as well. But wool is not only for apparel, but wool is perfect also for shoes. Well, wool is non-odor, water repellent, and naturally elastic. It's perfect for shoes, because I mean, sneakers are not good when they are smelling, and if you are outside and it rains, you always say, "Oh my God, why I have sneakers?" Because they are not water repellent. If they are in wool, they are, and they are natural elastic, so it's comfortable. So Adidas created a sneaker made of 1%, made of 50% wool fabric. The other 50 is cordura and nylon. But in sport, wool is really coming back as one of the biggest trends. So, well, this was an overview of inspirations for the spring-summer, some insights about innovation in denim, in wool, but we have these books that are on the table where you can find fabrics, innovations, and you can ask us if you are interested in any fabric. We have the contact of the suppliers that you can contact easily. I mean, we are not getting money on this, more or less. We are no profit, so it is a free service. But what is important to understand is that the trend of nature is really coming back, and wool is, of course, one of the queen fabric in the natural trend. So I don't know if you have any question. I'm here to answer if you want. If not, the only thing I can do is thank you for your attention. Thank you so much.